my Windjammer horse back in the day.
Oh yeah.
He was one of a kind.
Yeah.
And he was really ahead of his time for like he's as fast as what everything is now.
Right.
But back then, you know, they had Spec, and Spec was slower than a lot of them, but he was stylish.
Right.
And so my Windjammer horse, I think the day I ride to heaven, I'd say I'm going to be
Yeah.
riding on him. You know, I think he'll come back and get me.
It stands out in your mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know, and a lot of people knew you by him.
Yes. Windjammer made me.
Right. Yeah. You know, talk about you, Sandy and Windjammer. Sandy and Windjammer.
Windjammer made people look at me and gave me the respect.
That's cool.
So he made me. My Crimson Tide mare, she was a really good one too. But Windjammer was the one that got my attention. That made people look at what I was riding.
That's neat.
Yeah. So we had a special relationship. In fact, the year that I beat Spec at the spring celebration and Spec hadn't been beat, I was riding him the next day, just walking him around, and a guy from Texas walked up and he said, "I want to buy your horse." He handed me a check. It wasn't filled out. He said, "I want your horse. Fill it out." I said, "Nah, I don't want to sell him."
Yeah.
And he said, "But money's not an option." And I said, at the time, Windjammer was 18 years old. And I said, "Nah, he just went in that ring and gave me 100% of everything he had."
Right.
And I said, "And I'll bury him someday because he earned it."
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of aggravated with me at the time, you know.
Right.
And so I buried him at the age of 38.
Man alive.
Yep. I kept him till he was 38 years old. He's buried right outside my ring.
Huh. Ain't that something?
Yeah. So they want to give you everything they got. They deserve to have somebody give them all they got.
Yes, sir. Well, I tell you what, and you have got an opportunity to one of the horses that touched our life. We talk about Mr. Evolution. Yes. I don't want to be about him, okay? But I mean, I like that little rascal.
He's a little engine that could.
That's exactly. I've said he's a 58-inch horse with a 62-inch heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he looked just as spry out here the other night. His eyes, and
he is 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
To be 19 years old.
Yep.
And just
he carried my kid to the Juvenile World Championship, and then this week he carried one of our customers' little 12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Took her through.
Yeah.
So he's unique, and we'll make sure that he's got a good home till the day he dies.
And the only colt out of him won here.
Yeah, Johnny Red.
Yeah, Johnny Red won the other night, and was a bad cat too.
He was.
I mean, that rascal laid on that rail.
Yes, he
and I heard Brad holler right here. I was sitting right here.
Up at
did you hear him hollering at him?
Yeah,
he was yelling at him, "Come up here!" I thought the only thing I'd do different on him, I'd have me a long set of reins where I could whip back and forth like you do in pipe.
I don't think he needed it. He was catching everything.
That sucker was. I liked him. I really. And I hope that wasn't his one great show. Okay.
I saw him do several good ones in Decatur down in the days, so I think he's all right.
I like him. I just really like him. When we think about horses that really touched our life, and you know, I talk about this sometimes, and I know we talked some about this, but when we talk about the relationships that you make at horse shows, it's funny, okay, because you go in the ring with people that you want to send home crying, and you want them to be upset.
Yep.
And to feel, and then but then you go back out there and we all talk and everybody talks, but I think it's funny, the camaraderie is different, because I go in the warm-up ring a lot and watch in the warm-up ring, and I watch people sort of a little standoffish, and they're sort of looking at the other horses. It's really neat.
Well, sometimes you just got to get in your head. You got to get in the game. I do that. I walk off and just kind of get in my
showmanship.